Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Koi's Minecraft bucket list. Hopefully, you all didn't mind joining me taking on all those blazes and just totally epically failing that. That was probably the worst blaze takeover ever, right? Yeah, first time taking on blazes and I just fail horribly. So what am I doing back here at my original farm? You might remember me mentioning something about having, not wheat, but having pumpkins. Yes, and melons, and I've got potatoes, and I've got carrots laying around somewhere. I think they're in the house, over that way, which is my house. And if you guys remember, I was talking about putting in some farms over here, as well as putting in some farms out over this way. And I was thinking maybe we could put out the potato farm maybe out here. This actually might not be a bad place to do it. We're going to have to do a little terraforming, obviously. We can't have all these sunflowers in here. And we're essentially going to replicate this setup. Not completely, but, reasonably so. We're going to essentially do a 4x4 with this thing here. And with the water in the middle. And we're going to make we're going to start with the potato farm. And then we're going to move over to the carrot farm. And then melons after that. And the melons may just do better just being right over here. I don't know. We could have a decent amount of space right here. And the space could work out really, really well to have a bunch of melons in. So first thing I need to do is I'm just going to take some dirt because I'm going to need some extra dirt here. And from there, we're going to essentially start working on the potato farm. Okay, this is awesome. Look at this. This is an Unbreaking 2 shovel. Check out my grass block. Actually, I got a free grass block right here, and I'll show you. And it actually came from an Enderman. Yes. I actually took out an Enderman in the middle of the night while I was working on getting some cobblestone, and he gave me a free grass block. I think I'm going to save this thing. Yes, sirree. We're going to save this grass block for a future frame or something or another. That's my first grass block without any silk touch involved. Sweet. Anyhow, so let's get back to outlining this area right in here. Where's my dirt? I also went and got some spruce trees also because we didn't have enough to work with over here. So I chopped down a whole bunch of spruce trees. And the spruces, by the way, came from right over that hill, right over here, this hill here. And why am I doing this here? It will allow all my wheat to grow. It will also allow me to replant the trees and get them to grow. So this just gives me time to work on this. I got a ton of cobblestone. So I'm going to look at, essentially I need a piece in the middle. So I don't have any more torches. I'm all out of torches. So we're going to use this. Let's just call this the middle. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, right about here. And we can essentially put a wall here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and another wall here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get out of my way, stuff. All this grass. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we did this in a square shape, we would essentially end up with what we had in the other farm. But we actually want to make this a long potato farm. So I may want to go another set of 4 over here. So let me do a quick outline off camera. Hang on. Okay, we are going to essentially aim for the same wall design here. And I'm going to have to get some oak because I didn't think about that. I forgot I put some oak wood in there. And then I've got all the spruce. I'm good on the spruce side. So I just got to get some oak. I completely forgot about that. So yeah, essentially the double high dirt pillar here, it's going to be my water source. And the single high dirt pillar is essentially the edge of the 4 wide water block. And so this essentially is where the roadway could go. And it's essentially going to go almost concentric circles, if you want to call it that. And I'm going to essentially have 1, 2, 3 areas where I'm going to have potatoes. And this is where my potatoes are going to grow. I'm not sure where I'm going to put the carrots right now. And I could always stick the carrots over here, and I've got some decent water source here to do this, but I kind of want to keep the beach fresh. And I don't know, definitely melons are going over here. I have no problem sticking any, oh, I got to make some more torches. I forgot about that. I have no problem sticking the melons here, because melons are, geez, if you look at watermelon, they're just super plentiful. And the pumpkins, I mean, they're not so much, but I mean, I can definitely use a lot of pumpkins, but I will get there when I get to that point. You know what I could do? I could actually extend this out that way and take out a good chunk of this mountainside right here. If I do that, I will be able to get a bunch of the carrots in, but it will destroy a bunch of the mountain facade here, and I really, really don't want to do that. I don't want to mess up this. I do like the way it looks, you know, and it's really, I want to go with the contour of the world. So what I could do is maybe I could put the carrots over here, right? I can always take the opportunity to stick carrots elsewhere. I mean, why not? I mean, farms are not necessarily meant to be where you expect it. Here's my carrot and potato. I had to get them actually out of the supervisor house, which I've never actually finished. I meant to put a building over there, and one day we're going to definitely come back to that. I also got some extra food. I picked up the extra food from my fridge. Oh, and also I brought a bed. I brought a bed from my house. Oh, God. This one is not going to last. I really don't want to use the dark oak, but looks like I'm going to have to. Let me go ahead and make another hoe because my hoe is just gone. In fact, I'm probably going to need probably 3 of these guys. Alrighty, we got a single plot here available. This is actually potatoes. This is actually carrots. I just figured I'd plant them both now just to get them to grow faster. And that might actually be what I end up doing. I was thinking about that, and maybe I'll just split this up and to put potatoes over on this side and put carrots on this side. I don't know. Or better yet, I could just mix up the rows where I do potato, carrot, something like that. And that could always work. And right now I've got a potato here. So I guess that could be carrot, potato, carrot, something like that. And just do that pretty much for the entire thing going all the way down. This here will be a walking path. I just need to get some oak wood. I made some fence gates, as you can see right here. Got some fence gates available all throughout. What I'm thinking of doing back here is this part's fine. I'm okay with this. But as it goes up this way, I was thinking of just essentially reinforcing parts of this, maybe with fence posts sitting on the outside. You know, like how they have the reinforcing wall and how they do that just out of pattern. I can also do it with stone. And that's something else I was thinking of. Kind of like how this here is done. It's done with smooth stone at least. But I can always do like a reinforcing stone right next to it. And I was thinking maybe make this one more wider realistically to make this work, because it's kind of hard to maneuver where if I have a too wide thing, I have a way to get around. So I could always pop a lot of this out and just make like a smooth stone type of pattern with stone bricks and cracked stone bricks. That would be kind of cool to do that. And in the meantime, let us go find us some oak wood. If I remember, there's oak wood all the way over on that side. And I'm going to need to gather some more water anyhow. So close up this right here. And I was thinking not to put a gate on this side because it's just easy enough to, you know, wander around and pick up things. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about my trip. I told you in the last episode about my airline trip and how exciting that was, that I had to get a bunch of cancellations. Woohoo, right? So conference-wise, I really enjoyed the conference. The conference essentially was a single-day conference, but like I said before, I was on the board. Oh, look, for rent. Hidey-hole, ocean view, renter dream locale, for rent. What's this? How did this get here? I don't know. Hidey-hole, for rent, excellent rates. I had water in this bucket, didn't I? I think you saw me spill water. Do I have any coal still left in here? I do not. But check out my old hidey-hole. I pretty much expanded on this a little ways, and I have a free bed in here. And I was thinking maybe I would eventually, you know, decorate the furnishings here and sell it to somebody. I don't know who I would sell it to, but it'd be kind of cool to take my old hidey hole and make some awesome decoration from it. What? That was weird. My water bucket just refilled. I swear, I'm seeing things. The conference went actually really well. I was really impressed. What they usually do in our conferences, they have a keynote speaker. I had nothing to do with the keynote speaker, by the way. The keynote speaker went over some interesting concepts over, you know, taking charge of, you know, who you are and what you do every day and all that. This conference is, by the way, is based on, you know, what I do every day for my usual day job, which is not YouTube. By the way, it involves some stuff related to behavioral health. If you guys have heard about it in previous videos, you would know that by now that I work in the behavioral health field. Yes, I work in a facility where I get to do awesome stuff with behavioral health. I also myself did a presentation. Yes, I did. And so believe it or not, my time on YouTube has actually helped me make my presentation probably 20 times better. because, I'm talking in front of all of you guys, and who would have thought that having that ability to do this, I know I'm putting all the wood back, but it's the only way I'm going to get the wood way up here. This is, oh, really? There's another one. Yeah, so I essentially talked about anger management and how I essentially run group with anger management. Yes, I do groups as well. And I talk about, why I feel some of the stuff that I do in my own groups are actually really effective and why they work really well and why people just tend to dig them, And actually, let's get up there. That will do. I can reach the thing from there. Perfect. Problem with these giant oak trees is you don't know where the wood is. It's all buried in all leaves. And actually, it would have been a good time to collect these leaves. See, there's another tree like right here. Let's just dig this tree out. That way we know this whole thing will collapse like it's supposed to. Yeah, so I did a presentation. I'm super jazzed about how the presentation went, and I'm super jazzed by the fact that, I essentially, what do I not want? I don't want the seeds. I have like way more than enough seeds to last me a while. Yeah, so I'm super jazzed. I had 111 people sitting in front of me. Yeah, that's a crazy number, right? 111 people. And our conference had probably about 240 to 300 people. You're talking about close to half the people showed up for my presentation. And I had to compete with like 3 other people at the same time of my presentation time. So I'm like, whoa, that's super cool, right? And yeah, the presentation went really well. I'm starting to repeat and ramble now, and I try not to do this, but I do sometimes. It starts up on me, right? Put that there. I don't know where else I'm going to stick it for the time being. Yeah, then what else? I also went to an interesting presentation on what do they call them? Mandalas, right? They're usually used in artwork, right? But there's somebody who was actually, I think there's a piece of wood right up there. There's somebody that was actually teaching how to actually make them. It's very interesting because they get made out of essentially doodles. And I'm pretty impressed by that. I was like, wow, I can actually make mandalas just from straight up doodling, right? It gives you cool instructions on how to, yep, there was one more piece of wood right there in the corner. Oh yeah, the final session was also really good. It was another, they call it closing speakers, right? And they talked about the power of one. Essentially what one person can do, if you have a dream and you really want to live your dream, they just say, take the time to do it. If you really want to move, take the time to move. It's going to be freaking scary. It's going to freak you out and all that good stuff. But in the end of the day, you might actually get what you're looking for, right? And you just have to endure and deal with some of the stresses and issues that you might have because of it. How much oak wood do I have? You know what? I have more than enough oak wood right here. So I'm going to take all the oak saplings. Yeah, so outside of the conference sessions, I also had board meetings. So we had a pre-conference meeting, which was pretty cool. We got to have a meeting in the restaurant. Awesome, right? Can't go wrong, meeting over food. Yeah, so we had a pre-conference meeting that covered essentially what we were going to do to help deal with registration, to help deal with, the lines and all that good stuff. Anyhow, then we also had a post-meeting. The post-meeting was an all-day meeting. That happened on Saturday night. Okay, that's not true. It happened on Saturday morning through Saturday afternoon. That was kind of grueling because we had a lot of issues to discuss, a lot of conflicts going on early on. And, it's first time on the board, of course, for me, and first time on the board for someone else. And it was kind of rough just to kind of have to sit there and listen to all of this, rough talk about issues going on and problems and whatnot. Once we got through all that, then we finally got to some of the good stuff. So we also, on the board, we also look at, things that happen up in the state capitol, because those are important. They actually influence what happens in the field, so you actually have to pay attention to what goes on in the state capitol. And so I myself have personally gone to the state capitol to go and, talk to the folks up there. Where did I put my flowers? I don't see them. Did I move them? Oh no, they're here. I'm like, what? Where are all my flowers? I don't know where my sunflowers. I used to have more sunflowers than this. My carrot and potato farm, which is growing ever so nicely. It's not quite ready yet. Usually the carrots and potatoes pop out of the ground a little ways, and that's how you know they're done and ready to go. And the wheat farm, by the way, the wheat farm is growing ever so nicely, and eventually by the time I get done, I'm going to have a lot of wheat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wheat farm and just essentially split it in rows so it grows a whole lot better. Oh, mouse, don't do this. Yeah, so you can see some of these wheats are actually growing better than some of the other wheats. And so I'm going to actually take some time and split my wheat up so that way it grows a whole lot better. Let's take my oak wood, convert that into planks, and then convert that into oak slabs. So I got 54 slabs to work with, and that should cover quite a bit. And stairs, I need to make spruce wood stairs out of plank. Let's take 36. That should be enough. And then we'll just put the rest away and we'll borrow those for now. And I'm going to need eventually spruce wood slab, but I'll deal with that in a few minutes. So let me go ahead and deal with some off-camera digging, specifically digging up all of this dirt right here and getting rid of it. Be back. Okay, I'm super lucky here. My shovel was about to die. It's like the only shovel I got, but I managed to dig out everything in here. And including the walkway going down the middle. I'm going to have a walkway down the middle, put some water in here. I got to get one more bucket of water. But essentially what I'm going to have here is going to be however many slabs I can actually fit here. There it goes. I was like, I want that dirt piece right there. Yeah, so I'm essentially going to replicate the entire style that I had done for the other one. And something I noticed, by the way, it's, yeah, I'm going to lose my axe too at some point here. If you use a hoe, you actually can't spam click the hoe either because you're holding a shield and it won't let you do it. It's kind of interesting. So check this out. Watch. I'll just do this right here. See, I can't spam click. I'm holding it on the right button, right mouse button. Usually you could just kind of spam click away and it'll do it for you. It's so odd that you can't do things now in Minecraft, you know? All right, so I'm just going to be putting a walkway around here, and that's going to take me a little while. So I'll do this right off camera. Stay tuned. I just realized, unlike this one, where I actually had a few places, I don't really have very many places to put chests. Unless I borrow this right here and use it to make a light source right on the edges of this area. That would just shrink my area just a little bit, but it wouldn't really hurt too much, realistically. So that might be what I'll end up doing. I'll end up using this central piece right here at the light source block. And that just might be the way to go, realistically. And then I've also got to get some coal in order to make my light sources work. And I forgot, I might have some random coal floating around over here. I don't know, I haven't been over this way in quite a while. Guys, this is funny. I'm sitting in my lumber mill. Look what's in my inventory. 24 pieces of coal. Where did that 24 pieces of coal come from? I have no idea. All I know is I thought I had no coal, but apparently I've got 24 pieces of coal sitting right in my inventory. What do you know? But yeah, I'm still going to have to go do some smeltery work. There's not much I can go do about just getting around that. But you know what? Look at this. My 22 pieces of coal is practically going to be gone with these torches. I'm going to put at least close to 64 torches. That way I have more than enough. One more set. Now I have 8 pieces of coal left. Perfect. I do remember I had a bunch of coal blocks. That's actually where that came from. So I'm going to have to drop off a few more other things. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like my wheat field is finally about done, which is awesome. So that means I'll be able to harvest all that bread. In the meantime, my carrots are very tiny, and as are my potatoes. Potatoes are about as tiny. I planted pretty much an entire row in a line. You can see only these two have pretty much propagated, only because of, I think, the things that are next to it, which is preventing the rest. So this section is going to take quite a while to grow. And I have no idea when I have real potatoes, but hopefully it'll be soon. And if you notice, I put in a retaining wall right here. I ran out of cracked stone bricks, so I'm just going to leave it kind of as is. It does look quite nice as it is right there. And I pretty much wrapped it around. I missed a block. Why did I miss a block? Right there. I also did the same over here, and I missed another block, really. In the meantime, I think I am completely out of time at this point. I am going to call it quits for today. I have finally made my lone potato farm right here, and that's what I'm going to call this. It's going to be titled Lone Potatoes, just because I had a single potato where I had to grow everything from that one potato. Right, so if you guys liked this episode, please do like and subscribe. I do appreciate all you guys' feedback. It's really awesome. Definitely leave more comments. I love reading them. And I will probably more likely comment right back at you. And so we'll see where the world takes us in our next episode. In the meantime, have a great night and eat your bread. Because I got lots of the wheat here, enough for bread. Alright, see you next time. Bye. Oh no you don't, sheep. That's my potato and my carrot. I'm not letting you in there. Not to eat my potatoes. Look at this. I've got a lot of potatoes here. They're mine, buddy. Mine, I tell you. Same thing with the carrots. I don't need bunnies eating all my carrots either. That would just be a horrible, horrible disaster.